Stand together in the
What does it
ocean.
say? What's it
All
say?
together in a moment.
It's just off.
Forget the weather, made the sand out of snow.
It's recording on here though.
Sand out of snow.
No, that's quite alright. I like how. Well, let's just reference what's going on at the moment. I'm in a new place. Oh, that's bad. I'm in a new place. My new home. It will be the new podcast studio. I don't know if this is what it looked like with this janky ass fucking, just this shit here. It should really be on the wall. It should have some other shit going on. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll do something with the background. You know what I mean? But where we are is in my new flat in Manchester. I've got Peter Hall behind the camera. I think that's his name. I think it's also Shaolin Pete. He's just sitting in for me. And it's episode 97. 97. Every couple of episodes I go, oh my God, how many episodes have I done? 12 I did that. 18 I did that. I'll keep going. 97 though, that's like your great grandfather, innit? Like he's that age. Like your great. Oh, it's yours dead. But great is what this episode's going to be, alright? So, happy birthday, Grandad. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us. Good night. New York! No, so we're in Manchester. Obviously, I've been here for a while, but I was in Salford, you know. I'm in Manchester now. Out my window is the train station. I won't tell you which one. I'm not going to ever tell you which one, you cunts. I've just dropped a C-bomb in there straight away. When it gets to the point where it says, is this for kids? I'm going to go, no. That's what I'm going to press. Yeah, I always press that. But for effect, I pretend that it's a decision every time. I'm like, what did I talk about? I'm like, I talked about the capitalism and its effect on underprivileged minorities. But I also said tit farts and make sure you kiss your nandad. So should I include that? I also said nibble the wealthy. So should I put yes or no? And I often go with yes, this is for kids. So what I've noticed, this thing that I'm doing here, that's what I do on stage when I've got the mic. And I think it's when I think I'm comfortable, but I'm not. I should be like whatever. I should be talking like this. And I'm like, I'm pretty comfortable right now, but really I'm holding the mic here like this. And when I see it back on a video, I'm like, is that my style or is that me being a bit, I'm like covering my my important organs. I'm show my lift up. No, I shouldn't do that. Do you know what I've been doing lately? I've been grabbing all my fat. And I've been going, you shouldn't be like this. And then I've been in the mirror cutting bits of my hair, going, you fat. So I'm going to change that. I don't know if you can hear that train going past. I hope not. That would be interesting. If you can just hear a train going all the time. But so I've moved home. And what comes with the new move? New opportunities. I feel like I'm doing like a seminar at a new job. But yeah, I'm in this new home and it's cool, man. It's like New York looking. Would you agree, Peter? Yeah. It's got beams. That's the only thing that's New York about it. And it's a big open space, all right? I know it doesn't seem it on this tiny couch, but it's a big open space, all right? You could fit all your cousins in here if you're a weird cunt. I really am going in with the C word today. But yeah, so it's a cool place, and I'm going to be living with Nick. You know Nick, who used to produce the podcast, and is my good pal. If you know me through comedy, you've seen him at comedy nights. He's often behind the camera, just wanking off, looking at you. But we've stopped him from doing that. He's been to rehab now, and now I'm putting him up in this place. I'm paying for it all. I recently got a new job. It's like a promotion from my current job into a new field, and it's in like biomedics science at the University of Manchester, and I get paid a decent enough amount that I can just kind of like look after Nick, because his parents said we're at the point now where he needs a new legal guardian, and we've decided you're going to be the one. We said that if he does get christened, you'll be the godfather, because we see you as a godfather type of guy. But please look after him. Knowing that he'll never watch this, that's all okay to say. But when he's the one sat behind the camera, I'll change my tune, all right? So remember those sweets tunes? Do you remember them? Were they called tunes? And they were like for when you have a cold. Like halls. Do people have halls? Why? Oh, why? Pizza Hall. I knew it. Same as whenever someone talks about the Albert Hall. But your Uncle Albert. Tunes. Formby Hall. Remember Formby Hall back in the day? None of you do. Halls was some sweets. That was a thing. That was like popular to have throat sweets. Fisherman's friends. The kids don't. Do you know, I think that a lot of getting older is just going, they won't do that anymore. There's no way they do that anymore. TikTok. React to TikToks. That's overdone, my friend. No. I feel like I'll be... Do you know what I will react to in the second half? The new Boston Dynamics video. Because that is insane, that. Right, well, we should watch that. Right. Well, I think it's like the evolution of Boston Dynamics. All right, we'll do that. But yeah, I've moved and it's more in the city centre. So as gigs start again, and I've done a new job interview, not in biomedics. I don't know what that means or if that's even a word, but that's not even a word. But I don't know why I'm quoting Friends. But we'll talk about the reunion in a sec. Why not? But I've moved, and so when I get this new job, earlier finishes, can get to gigs on time. I'm back. I'm going to be back. And I'm fucking taking it seriously this time, man. I'm in comedy. I'm here in Manchester. I'm going to try and get to a gig every night. What else have I got to do? I can't commit to a relationship, so I should just give up on trying to do that. What's the point? I'm also too fat. No, but what it is, I don't know if you have this, so many digressions, but that's why you're here. Sometimes I look at myself, and not just physically, but just where I am in my head, and I'm now in adulthood, and I had all these experiences where I just checked out, and I just went like, let's do this for a while, and it's like, what about developing yourself as a human? And I'm like, well, the experiences will do that a little bit, but like taking care of my health and mental health and stuff like that, I've kind of disregarded for a little while, and over the last year, that has been my goal. Approaching 30, I've been like, be a bit healthier, be a bit mentally healthier. So I don't want to go to a mental hospital, do I? So why would I want to go to a mental hospital? So what I'm going to do instead, I've been doing counselling. I've been doing press-ups. Do you know what I don't like doing? Is saying about a thing when you just started doing it. I hate it. But sometimes when I put it out there in the vaguest terms on a podcast, it's accountability. So I'm not going, right, I've signed up for a 10K, because I haven't, and I'm not going to do. Again, I did one once. I'll show you the medal. I'll get it out. If you don't believe me, come round. I'll give you the medal. I'll give you it. Do you want to buy it on an auction? I'll do an auction for anyone who comes round. But the 10K, I've not signed up for one of them, but what I'm doing is I'm just trying to be more active. That is and it was riding my bike all the time. Now that I'm in the city centre, I walk a lot more. There's just a lot more to see. You go outside and you can just sit in one spot for 50 minutes if you want, 52 minutes if you like, and you'll see a lot of stuff going on. You'll see mad things, and you can move on and you can walk around, and it's just that in itself is entertainment. That's entertainment. This ain't reality TV. Don't laugh. What's that from? Put it in the comments. And also take a drink of water. I'm fucking. Oh my god! I need to slow down. So on the water consumption, too much H2O, mate. No hetero. Right. So moved to Manchester, trying to be more active, trying to be mentally better. And the thing that I want to do, I will be so regretful. I'll be full of regrets if I do not fully give my full attention to full stand-up. And if I don't, spit everywhere. then if I don't shit everywhere, all my ideas everywhere, and I don't just commit everywhere, then I'll be fucked or eat. So what I'm gonna do is focus. Yeah, call the police right now. I'm having a stroke. Call the police. And I'm having a mental attack. So that's my goal. What I'm trying to tell you is I feel hopeful. I've got my washing hanging up on my beams just over there. That means that I wash my clothes. That means that I'm living here on my own while I'm waiting for Nick to move in when the internet's here. And I've been making good, responsible adult decisions because I'm ready. So that's one of the perks of me having moved. It's feeling good. There's optimism in my life. So yeah, as for the counselling thing that I've been doing that for quite a while, and I'm actually seeing the effects of it now. I'm seeing it in action. It's seen some action. It's been to Afghanistan. My mental health, and all I can think of is Iraq. What am I talking about? Right. So I just had to fire that brain fart out. Counselling though, what it has done is, I remember the first few sessions he did like a how much do you want to kill yourself? 1 to 4. How often do you think about fucking your sister? 1 to 8. And I'm like, 999, call 999. I'm going to No. Please don't watch this. You watch one of them. And really give me a scale of like, I'm done with that. So I had to answer with some of them, and he's like, it goes 1 to 30, it goes 8 to 13. Which one do you pick? And I'm like, mate, 55 on that one. I really do lie in bed. No, I have horrific sleep. Me and Pete were talking about this before, where I'll just wake up and I've got a scratch on my face. How have I done that in my sleep? Do you know what it is? I've put the bed, I have like my bed's in the corner, and I have like a wheelie table. Like when me and Nick first got it, we were looking at it, he went, ooh, and he was jealous of it. And I was like, that's why I've got this room. Now I'm thinking what he did was make something seem really cool in the shit room so that I'll take the shit room. Unagi. Stop quoting Friends constantly. So he has the wheelie table and he moves it around, and I'm like, I want the room like that. So I took the room, and what I did last night was pull it close to me on the edge of the bed. That's a little bedside table, you know what I mean? And I think what I've done in the night is I've swiped my face across it as I writhe around. I imagine in bed, I'm just tossing and turning. I'm just going, like this. Because I wake up just grinding the shit out of my teeth. Like, do you ever get it where in the morning you're stretching and you're waking up and you're still half asleep, Peter? Or the viewer. Do you ever get it where you're like this and you're just going, I'm sorry to who had heard that then, that's horrific. But the grind, do you ever feel the daily grind? Do you ever go, are you 100% never stopping humble blessed? You do feel that? I don't know, I gave you like the most ridiculous question possible. Yeah. Do you ever feel the daily grind? But yeah, and that happens a lot. And yeah, so on the scale thing, I said yes, very much. I'll get back to, I have digressed, but I'm back to my point. And how does Brad Pitt sit, though? Does he sit like, does he chill? Surely he doesn't sit like this, does he? That's how I was sitting, and I felt uncomfortable in it. But I'm relaxed now. So the therapy, we did that. And then after that, the next few sessions were like, he'd go, oh, you're right. And I go, you're right. And he goes, is it all right if I record this? It's on Zoom. And I go, yeah, go ahead. And then he goes, all right. How you doing? And usually when someone says, how you doing? I go, not bad, how are you? And I move it, I deflect it immediately. Not bad, how are you? Pete, what Pete does is I'll ring him up and I go, all right, man, how are you? And you go, how are you? And I go, yeah, man, I'm good. What you up to? And he's like, what you up to? And you don't even, you don't respond at all. You just give the question back, which is an odd one. But, yeah, and it was really odd at first for him to just say, that's his leading question, how are you? And you have to actually answer it. You actually have to tell him how you are. And I had to tell him how I was. And sometimes I was like, I'm fine. But then it turns out by the end of the session, I wasn't fine. It turns out that, there's things I've gotten off my chest and things I've spoke very candidly about. And then there's things that I've gone, oh, don't mention that. And then I go, wait, this is a safe space. He's not going to know you outside. He's not going to make this judgment on you. And then you got to work with him, or you got to like have sex with him, or something like that. And he's going to know that about you. This is just for this. It's a weird thing, really, where you just can tell someone all your shit, and it just stays there, I hope. Although we recorded it. But it's between him and the 8 counsellors who laugh at me. They've got like a screening night. Can you imagine that? He's like edited it to zoom in on me and stuff. And they've got like someone has a home cinema. I would love it. Yeah, and I would do it too. Look at the way he scratches his nose when he's nervous. When he does this. I don't know, that's not something I do, but that would be the thing that bothered me. If they made such personal attacks. Like, do you not think he just sits weird? Do you not think he just doesn't sit like Brad Pitt? They would never say that. Maybe not. I don't know. If they're cool, they might. But therapy, yeah. And then it got to the point where there was one where I'd had a bad week. And I got home. I'd missed the week before. I was like, can we not do this week? I feel too gay. So we didn't do it. And then the next week, I'm like rushing home with a badness on the mind. And I get home and I'm like, I'm like, record me! And then I just fucking unloaded it all onto him. Onto his back, and he took it well, and no, come on, and I just got it all out, and he was like, whoa, like usually it takes you a while to get into it, but you felt it seemed like you had something to say then, and then I unlocked it, and I had things ready to go. I was like, I'm going to talk about that this week. Then I talked about my stepdad at one point, realized that a moment when I watched some gangster film, or something like this. I don't watch The Sopranos, but if it was on, then, and if it's on, and or whoever, the scary dad figure, basically, in a film, if they're always just like, they're just cool and the stone cold fucking Steve Austin all the time, they're just like, I'm not giving you nothing. Then at one point, they just go like, they just help someone out a tiny bit. That is massive to me. It's like, I don't know, it hits me right deep because this is an example of it. In my current job, my boss is a bit younger than me and he's been giving me lots of good feedback and saying, oh, someone else said that you were good at this. And I'm just kind of going, I don't believe you. I don't believe this. What's he got to gain? Is he going to ask me to do overtime? That's what I feel like that is. Whereas when I had this boss, this Irish guy, when I worked at Lidl, absolutely nuts. He used to come to work at 6 or 7 in the morning, and when he'd pull up, he would have a can between his legs that he'd been sipping on the way there. And like a bad movie, as he opened the door, cans would he'd be like kicking cans over to get out of his car, like, I'm Irish, like that, and this is fine. I can't do an Irish accent. Not right. Hello, Scottish. Yeah, so anyway, that's Indian, Phill. That's what Pete was doing in the background there. So one time, he was always just, he was a hard nut to crack, all right? And he was like an authoritative, scary, mean padre figure in my life. And I was obviously like, approval, please. I need yours the most. And then one time, I think I did something, and then he came over and went, oh, that's not bad. And that meant way more to me than like constant, like, hey, you're doing really well, pal. You're doing great. I don't know why they're talking to me like that. Doing good, mate. But my boss just a little chink in his, in his, I'm Asian like a fine wine. A little chink in his armor, and it cracked his shell slightly and let out a not bad. That meant a lot to me. And this is the example I gave where I think I've got it from. Jimmy, my stepdad, said his real name. I bet I've said it loads on here. He once, me cunt lips. You quoted my joke there. I might bring that back, you know. And I'm going to discuss another part with you of it afterwards, actually. And or maybe I'll even discuss it in here and flesh it out as an idea. One of the things that I said to my therapist, counselor guy, was one thing that he did was I was on holiday. And I don't know, I just walked around on eggshells. I keep talking about shells. Pete came around to my house one time when you first came to my house when we were in high school, and he had his hood up. And when he walked in, he like, it was a hat, and he like scorned him for having that hat on as if he's in some like he's in a diamond shop.
Can I tell you?
You can tell it, yeah.
So, do you reckon it can pick me up?
Yes.
So I walk in, I'm wearing a hat, which in my world is not like an offence.
No.
It's not something that you're booed out of the house for. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's as if someone was like, what colour socks have you got on? Get out! Like it wasn't on my mind that is something that was rude in a house.
Yeah.
And I was stood in the kitchen with you. I hadn't even entered into the house really yet. I was just waiting in the kitchen with you. And then I just heard like a bark from the other room. Just, oh! And I was like, oh, that's an interesting noise. Like,
We got a dog.
and then just, and then you looked at me with like such worry in your eyes, like as if I was like, as if you were a battered housewife, and you're like, hi, can I have pizza, please?
Yeah,
like,
pizza. We want pizza.
This is $9.99. You can't have pizza. And you went, no, I really need a pizza.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. With my eyes, I'm saying, please, pizza, please.
You were looking at me like, if you don't want me to get fucked in my asshole later on, you're gonna remove that.
Pepperoni. Like that, yeah.
So you looked at me and went, your hat. And I was like, what about my hat?
know.
You know what I mean? You looked at me as if, I don't know, as if I was going to go, oh my God, I've not left it on, have I?
Yeah, exactly.
I went, yeah, my hat, it's what he, like, you know what I mean? Like, he hates hat, he was raped by a hat.
Exactly.
You take your hat off. I went, oh. And to me, I'd never even heard that was a rule before. I understand now that in the 40s or whatever,
1880s he grew up.
someone would remove their hat when they entered or out of respect or whatever. But yeah, to me, it was just like, oh, roll your sleeves up quick.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, so that's the kind of person he was. I just walked around like... and it's funny that I grew up thinking that all these table manners and like old-fashioned, weird ways of living was the norm. Like, I had this like ideology from the 20s or some shit that he was born in the 40s. I think he was born in 1940. That's it. It makes him 81 now. I'm gonna twat him, me. And well, one of the things my sister said when I got old enough to like want to fight back was she was like, yeah, don't do that because the article will read teenager or like 18-year-old man beats up pensioner. And I'm like, oh yeah. And even if he won the fight, which is likely that he would because he was a big, scary guy with a girthy penis, I wouldn't be surprised if he would have won the fight. So yeah, and one of the things that happened, we're on holiday, I got food poisoning or whatever, threw up in the sink of some restaurant or whatever, and he came in, and have I told you this story before, Pete? He came in, and I thought he was going to shout at me or whatever and make me feel like a piece of vomit. He was like, you get in the sink too. And what he did instead was put his finger in the sinkhole de Mayo, and he started fingering that bad boy real nice. I was like, oh, is that how you treat my mother? That's some good technique, that, my friend. And he's going at it. And that's the clip. Yeah. Anyway, okay. No. It's the G-spot in the man's ass. It's the prostate. The P-spot, yeah. And he fingered it down and he said, listen, son. He didn't say son, he never did. He said, listen. No, he didn't say any of that. He just acted as if it was nothing. And that was, not so bad. That was fucking Al Capone telling his son that he can have a new gun. That was it. It was a big moment for me. And I cried in therapy. Because I was like, wait, you're supposed to have like, you win the race and then your dad... Oh, there's a video and it might just cut off the camera all of a sudden, but I'll tell you about this real quick. I'll just tell you about it. A video that made me cry real bad, right, it's this kid who must be about between 6 and 8 in America, and he's got the helmet on. He's stood on the little square baseball. His dad throws a ball, fucking knocks it out the park, literally smashes this baseball, and his dad goes nuts, and the kid's going, oh, oh, and then he starts running around, and they're both just having the best time ever. They're just cheering, they're just having a sick time, and I'm just like going, oh, oh. And that's what my moment should have been, not like, oh, I fingered you sick down the sink. That my baseball out of the knocking out the park was a sink fingering. Sink fingering is the name of the episode, and I've realised that in therapy, and it's helping. I think it's made me realise that enough that I can now talk about it on a podcast and laugh at it. But and it's also taught me to not everything is funny, and I keep trying to make him laugh, and he's just looking at me. Sometimes he laughs, but sometimes he looks at me like, "That's not funny, man. It's not okay that you think that's funny." So like now, yeah, which is fine because it's not always going to be laughs. I've said sink fingering, so I think you should be happy with that. What we'll do is we'll call that a little half an hour there. Nice, a half an hour-ish. We'll have a little break. Me and Pete will get some eats, and then we'll be back for a real treat. Nibble the wealthy. Recording on there, and it's recording here. Fuck me. We're back to it, Peter. He's on the other side of the camera now. Happy birthday, the gays. There's one day of the month for each of you. There is. How many gays is there? Like 30? At least 30. 31. Probably more. But when my stepdad used to say, Jimmy, as I talked to him before, he has a fond memory. He said, when I were a kid, there were only 2 gays in Wigan. That's what he used to say. And I was like, oh, the couple, and he was like, no. They like lived separately, and they were just 2 gays, and they were known gay. And I was like, that statistically is off. Like, definitely there were more gays. Was never married. That's what they used to say in the paper when a gay man died. But we don't want that. It's Pride Month. We don't want them to be dead. We want them alive. Because so here's what I think about gay. Is this how I'm going to go into it? Okay. But yeah, it's Gay Pride Month. That's good, isn't it? I say gay a lot, and I want to reinvent the word. I want to reclaim it. Not as a gay man myself. I'm only probably about 15% gay. And that's what we should start doing. When people go in a comment section on a video or of a picture of a hot guy, they go, I'm not even gay, but I think don't say it like that anymore. Say it like, I'm only 10% gay, or I'm actually 99% gay, but this woman, do you know what I mean? Percentize it, all right? And I wanna start, rather than saying, like, when we grew up, something would happen, like you get a pack of chocolate cigarettes that you could get from the shop, and you go in and you go, oh, there seems to be a packet of cigarettes from a foreign country amidst all these sweets for children. And you go, wait, no, they are sweets for children. They're not foreign cigarettes. They're just made to look like that. And then you pay for them. They're probably about 50p, which was a lot then. Back in my day, when I used to get 12 quid a week for a paper and that I worked 6 days a week. That's it nuts that I used to get £12 a week, which I make more in an hour now. Oh my God. Anyway, yeah, sorry, thank you. These chocolate cigarettes, you would, remember, there would be cigarettes that are chocolate, but what was the original reason I said that? Right, yeah. And you get some, and one of them is all fucked up, and you go, oh, that's gay. Well, no. Now we should start, like, Pete goes, oh man, I saw a pigeon in the street, and it was like eating 5 other dead pigeons, and I go, oh, that's gay. And it's a new way of reclaiming the word. Like, someone goes, I've gotten married to a woman, and I go, so gay, and then we hug, because it used to be happy, didn't it? Before those homosexuals took it, and the homosexuals they got the word gay and they claimed it, but then we, the heterosexual homophobes, we took it, and we've all been one. If you're a straight man, you've probably been a bit homophobic in the past, and that's all right. I'm taking responsibility. So if it should have gone black and white, and even though I'm going, take responsibility. And we've all been a bit. Oh yeah, so that's what happened. Then we said, oh, we're going to use the word gay as a word that is not good. But guess what? The tables have turned. So the next subject, comedy is coming back. I know that there has been some gigs on already, and I haven't been able to make it to any yet because I've been working shifts and often doing late shifts. But if I get this new job, that will be over. I will be working shorter day. Well, not shorter days, but I finish earlier and I can get to the gigs. And like I was saying before, I'm going to start smashing them all. And I'm feeling optimistic about it because I have a feeling that people are more than ever wanting to go and see live performances. There's probably people who used to come and see Comedy Vault, which will be back, but more details about that when we're sure on it. And I feel like when I'm able to do these shorter shifts, I can get to these gigs. And after the 21st of June, when things open up, even like you can go indoors and everything, and it's all fine. And it's not all, you can go indoors now, can't you? But it's like 6 people to a table, some shit. You have to book it, you have to wait for ages and all this shit. Then it will be, I think I'm going to fully immerse into it. And I want to also make documentaries about the Manchester comedy scene and stuff like that, and just be more. I'm doing that thing again where I say I'm going to do this, but I'm taking accountability. Last year I said I'm going to make a video every month to document the year, and I've been doing it. So, and I make sure I do it. So these kind of goals, when I set myself them, I'm like, that's something that's fun though. So make sure you do it. So, I said so a lot then. The Friends Reunion. Thank you for giving it some direction. So, I went to my sister's, and when I lived with my sister, when I was like 23, 24, when I was a kid, let's start off with that. Let's go way back. So, when I would come home from school, I would sit in front of the TV. I'd lie in front of the TV, actually, making my toes do mad things, like my little toe poke out like this, and I'd sit there and I'd draw a picture of me as a buff guy with a big beard for when I get older, and sometimes a Nazi tattoo, but it was nothing to do with racism. It's because I watched American History X, and Pete told me that I could look like Ed Norton, so I started drawing myself like that. Didn't realize that you don't need the power of the swastika to be that jacked. You can do it without the swastika. I've learnt this as I've gotten older. I've seen The Rock in films, and he doesn't have a swastika. I know this now. But I would do that, and I'd watch Scrubs on ABC. Then I'd flick the channel over to E4, and I'd watch Friends. And it was often 2 episodes, and I fucking watched all of them maybe 12 times. That's very likely that I've watched all of them 12 times.
You said on the show it's been watched 100 billion times.
Yeah, how crazy is that? Crazy. They were shocked by the number as well. So anyway, and then when I stayed at my sister's, it was on again, and it was just sometimes something to put on when I'm on my phone, when I'm doing whatever, and I just stick it on. And there's nothing else on if there was nothing else on her Sky TV, whatever, because I couldn't just type something in or put my favourite show on, I'd just go, stick Friends on. So then she thought that means that I am a devout Friends fan, and ever since then, whenever the topic of Friends comes up, she's like, oh, Ross here, he loves it. You're so Ross. Aren't you Ross? Aren't you Ross? You're Ross, aren't you? And I go, all right. And I go, and who am I? And I'm like, you're Monica. And she's like, that's right, brother and sister. And then she cleans something, and then Richard comes in. And so she really thinks that I love it loads. She even got me a Ross cup. I mean, I love it, but she made it seem like I was like a super fan. She made me a super fan. Like, she's given me memorabilia and souvenirs, which is fine. I drink out of that Ross cup. I think my sister loves it. She has a Friends jumper on, right? And when I go and visit them all last weekend, when the kids went to bed, she was like, come on, let's watch the Friends reunion. And I was like, all right, let's watch that Friends reunion. And so we go up. We go down. Not important. It's like mum told a story. And I'm her son. So we're watching Friends reunion. And I can't say that word. You say it. Reunion. I did. I can say it. And anacrity. Abdicate. Abdicate. Yeah, so we're watching the Friends reunion. And as we're watching it, it was really weird because they all don't look like they've aged appropriately. They haven't aged how they should age. The closest one is Matt LeBlanc. And as he gets older...
It's like Joey from the alternate timeline where he married Monica.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He's like bigger, but he's not that kind of like fat, like, oh, he's let himself go. He's just bigger. And also, his hair was grey towards the end of the series, but he started dyeing it black.
He started dyeing it from season 1.
Wow, yeah, so there you go. So when he was 27 then, I know way too much, but yeah, I'm a super fan. He was a babe back in the day. Even Perry was sometimes like, well, but Perry now. It was crazy because I was like, whoever gave you the new teeth shouldn't have made them like the episode of Friends where Ross has super white teeth. Oh shit, yeah, maybe that was a callback to it.
After everyone had already been commenting about it, I was so sad to see Perry.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't, like, this is crushing my soul. All this stuff. So I watched it and I was like, oh, it wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad, but I'd seen it. I saw it before, and it wasn't that I'm going like, "Oh, mate, what's happening?" It wasn't like that. It was like a lot has changed. Like Monica, also, I mean, Courtney Cox also looks the most out of the girls, like plastic surgery up, and it's fine. I get it. Like I don't expect middle-aged celebrities who are in the public eye constantly to just go, just great, just old, unless you're like Julianne Moore, but I'm sure she's had some as well. She could get some. She could get a pile of it. So yeah, I was watching it and it made me just, really what it did was made me just like consider my own mortality. I was like, I'd see them sat on the couch doing the game of when it's like, pet peeves, and it's like asking questions and they have to fight over the apartment, and it would be them sat on the couch in the set as 50-odd-year-old people. Then it would cut to them in the 20s, 30s, which is around either I'm looking at them going, I'm older than them now, or going, I'm the same age as them, whatever. And then it makes me, and I see how they are now and how quickly time goes. And it's, when I was watching Friends as a kid, even though it was ages ago, it doesn't feel like that long ago. But seeing them age like that, it freaked me out a little bit. And James Corden also, just a nightmare. I mean, he was all right, but I just can't stand that guy. He did his job. You're right. And you're often now the... I have your voice in my head sometimes when I go, fuck this. And then you go, I don't know, that guy's doing his job. But like, that's fitting for what it is. And I go, I suppose if you are a DJ having people on to freestyle rap, you are going to go, my boy. And you're going to say all this stuff. You're going to say, J. Cole. You're going to say stuff like that. That J. Cole freestyle I sent you, where the guy's like, oh, I ain't even tripping. Oh, they were. But in the setting, I was like, I was shocked. I was like, come on, you're ruining it. But also, I'm like, I understand if you heard this on the radio, you don't see how corny these guys are. You might be like, it might make you more buzzing. You might be like, yeah, I'm glad there's a hype man.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's 45-year-old white guys.
Yeah, exactly. There's 45-year-old white guys. Oh, my God.
White guy outside. 5-year-old.
So yeah, Friends reunion. I didn't actually watch it all. I can't say the word. When they got reunited. Yeah, no, I did. That was the shock of it. But also, I was watching it going like, oh, it's nice that they're revisiting it, and you can tell that they all really loved it. And there's all these little stories in it where they're like, oh, well, when that happened, this, and it is, yeah, it's. I imagine a lot of people are satisfied with that.
I thought it was edited really well.
Yeah, it was. Even the little cutaway bits to like, and Ross, and then it zooms in on him sat on the thing. But then Rachel and.
They can't have written the structure for it until they actually did the interview as well. I'm sure they had a loose idea of what they wanted it to be, but then they have to have reactionary segments based on the stories told, unless it was sort of dictated.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. True. So they had to edit. In response to what was being talked about.
I don't know how much you can shoehorn in the narrative across if it's not supported by
True.
what happened on the night.
And James Corden would have had to have asked the right questions. and he did his bit, and I am just sat at home going, yeah, you're in a position that I want to be in. Kind of, he's not really. I wouldn't want to do that, but he's... Really? I had it charging for ages. Has the little warning sign gone off? Okay. We'll see how we go. We've got another battery just in case. If it just cut off, we'll just cut and we'll carry on. Oh yeah, we've got to do Boston Dynamics. See, I can't say anything. I just can't say anything. All right, well, I'll give you this one more thing before we move on to Boston Dynamics. We might have to pause, set it up, and then come back to it. Yeah. Here's a pet peeve I have. If you're messaging someone and you've got like, you're one of those texts that don't do the paragraph, which I'm not. You do it, right? You do like, here's all the information. Even if I have to put a space in between, I'm answering both questions. Most of the time you're that, I'd say. As opposed to, I went to this place the other day and then there's this guy there. Do you know that guy, Kevin, who it's his brother?
I started doing that after
everyone else did it.
Everyone did. I just was like, I'm going to seem like a middle-aged woman if I'm sending these.
True. Yeah, exactly.
Just go dong, dong, dong. But it's also why I roll around on silent all the time, because otherwise it's just ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
What should be in one text comes to you in 7.
True. Yeah, you're like, when you get that notification of someone just telling you a story and you're just hearing ding, 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 like that. Mine's like a burp first. That's the actual message tone. And it's ding, ding, dinging. You're like, it gives you this panic of like, well, what's going on? Is someone dying right now? But it's just them going, haha, just saw this, mate. How mad's that? Like, haha. An emoji at the end, crying, laughing face. I mean, I'm guilty of it. But if you are doing that and you're talking to someone and you go, hey, how's it going? Did you go to that thing on Sunday then? I've been doing this. What about that job interview or something like that? And then you start answering the first one and then they start responding to the first one. It's like, no, if you're going to, you can't offer it all. It's almost like, imagine doing that conversation. Hey, how you doing? Where did you go to school? What have you? Do that.
So you'll then have 3 topics going in one.
Yeah.
And it's just whatever the next reply is.
Yeah, because people often forget. I often feel like
you drag it, you slide.
You do the slide thing.
Don't forget to reply.
There are certain apps or like Instagram or whatever, you can't do that. So you'll be on that, or a message, like a text message, you can't really do that. So, but even if you can reply to it, it's like, I almost feel if they've gone, oh, I went to this place, look, I've got sunburn. I don't know why this is a weird one. They send you a picture, I've got sunburn. And then you go, oh, geez. Oh, no. Then you go, where did you go today? Are you getting that thing for tea then? Blah, 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 blah. And then I go, geez, the sunburn looks bad. Then they go, I know. It proper hurt. And I go, oh, yeah, do you know sun cream? And then they go, no, I'm scared of chemicals.
I think that sort of an array of topics has been presented. You can pick which one you want to go forward. So you clearly, the sunburn hit you.
No, it wasn't that. It was me going like, yeah, it's the first, so I'll answer that one. And then if you want to do, here's 4 messages, then here's 4 messages for you answering each one of those. Let's not get to the first lot of messages and just stay on topic, because then when you ask me how did the chiropractic adjustment go, then I'm not going to want to say I'm in hospital, he broke my back, my L7 is fucked. I'm not going to want to reply that later because we've been talking about your sunburn for 20 minutes.
One you've told me on before is that I will have different chats with you across different platforms.
I've told you off for it.
Not to, but we've laughed at it.
Oh, we've laughed at it before, yeah.
Texting you, Facebook,
yeah.
and Instagram,
yeah.
And then on YouTube as well.
True, yeah.
All these different ones, and then we'll cross it over and then throw in replies.
Yeah, true. Or we will even be like on Instagram and WhatsApp, and then we make a joke about it, like, oh, look, we're texting or anything more. Can we message on any more apps than this? And then I text you, and then I text you going, yes, we could, or something like that. Because then I add to it. Pretty much what you just said, but I'm just aware that they might not be able to hear that great. I'm just reiterating things you see. True. Right, so what we'll do is we're going to watch a little video and I'll react to it.
This is going to survive?
No, what I think I'll do is I'll be back in 1 second. In a second. Nice. Right, so we're gonna watch this Boston Dynamics video, this Doston Dynamics, and here it is. So this is really interesting me because it's fucked up. Do you want to come and have a little look at this, Pete? So get in here. So it's the evolution of Boston Dynamics, right? And it terrified me because that already is super freaky. Just this, the scary legs on it, and the fact that it's just like this. I don't know. It's not. Oh, the way it falls.
Yeah, it's like a real living thing.
Yeah, and it's got this. It's almost got this like it will stop for nothing. That's the scary part of it. Is its legs just keep going, and it's like you can shoot it, you can push it with a brush, and like they're making it walk kind of real, and it's learning itself. But also, it's just legs and then this weird cagey body. Oh, they just get more and more big, massive bug looking. Yeah.
If you imagine any of these things being organic matter instead of...
Oh, yeah. Like, they look like giant bed bugs or something like that. Do you know, like when you see stuff, like, this is what's in your bed when you sleep. Just microscopic. This is them. Oh. But it's weird that they're only developing, like, now. They've got arms, but it's like, give it... I don't know, is it going to be scary? This one's doing press-ups. Oh no! Oh my god! Is that not the most terrifying thing? And if you've seen that Black Mirror episode, where it's like all in black and white, and it's called something like fucking
dogs or something, isn't it?
Dogs, yeah, endangered robot dogs or something. And but also right, this Amazon. Oh my god! Amazon. And how they've got people, that is terrifying. I can't get through it. Let's see a abominable snowman. The androidable snowman, that. Petman, yeah, why call it that? Oh, wearing the suit is crazier.
He's got the Vince McMahon walk.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new one they had? I don't want to skip ahead to spoilers, but they have one that can do Spider-Man now.
Spider-Man, how do you mean?
It like...
Oh, yeah. I think that's on here. Yeah. This one's just in the office, getting kicked. This is the only thing I see is like, when they see these videos...
Have you seen the Corridor Crew? One of it.
Oh, yeah, and it's like this fake one.
Yeah, they fight back.
Look at the big cow. Oh, God. Yeah, and Amazon soon will just be... Rather than paying people a yearly salary, they'll just buy one of these, and this will do all the work. Look at how it's walking with the guy. Like this will be all Amazon workers.
Going for a smoke with the guy.
Yeah, exactly. Just fucking with it.
It does seem tight on them.
It does, doesn't it? Like,
yeah, fuck up, just like booting it, and it's trying to get a box, and you're like, yeah, you can't get it, can you? You fucking idiot.
It's like how they must all have watched all of the sci-fi films. That one's got like a dinosaur's face. And it does the dishes. And they're like, you made us do dishes. Do you not know what we're capable of? But yeah, this will all be what we used in warfare. This thing from that episode, that's terrifying,
oh wow, that jumped up a notch.
Yeah, it did. It's just like...
These robots are used in warfare.
Yeah.
I thought you meant these videos will be used by the robots as
in warfare. Exactly.
To show, they'll be like, look what they did to us.
Exactly. This one is fucked up, where it's just like, I will open any door. And it's got this big, like, this big, scary mouth.
Where's its mouth?
It's the grabber. That's the mouth.
Oh,
it uses its mouth.
Head?
Yeah, that's its head.
That's not its neck and head.
It is. Oh, I thought it was an ad then. But look, this is like, this will be in warehouses. You'll have your little yellow, scary friend walking around.
I think, the backwards legs make it quite creepy.
But look at this sick, like, a CGI advert that they did for it. Like, look, it's dances now. It's become so advanced that we just teach it. It makes you sad, doesn't it? It makes you kind of scared for the future.
Yeah, I'm not buzzing.
I'm not buzzing. Look at what they're doing. Anyone who works for Amazon now, I've got it. I've got a lifelong job. You've not. Give it 10 years and you'll be replaced by an actual robot. People were scared of the self-checkout.
Somewhat myopic though, isn't it? If you get a job, if you enter into a profession that you've not cast any thought to whether or not it'll be rendered obsolete in the near future, then that's on you.
Exactly.
Player.
Exactly. Player. Yeah. Exactly.
What's the end? What are they doing? Just dancing?
They're just dancing. They're just showing off. Like we can make it even do.
That was doing pretty good dance moves.
It was, yeah, just like. Oh shit! The gay porn's gonna come on next because it is Pride Month. Oh, I actually just clicked on someone else's podcast. No, that's good then. Right, let's just. Oh no, I took the wrong thing away. This is going. See, this is the bad thing about live podcasting.
Is that the end of the Boston Dynamics?
That's.
section?
I've done it again. That's the end of the Boston Dynamics section.
You could just leave that on.
I could, but I could also have it.
What if it
deletes everything?
Just move it away.
I've done it. That is the end of the Boston Dynamics section.
So I'm gonna.
Are you gonna sit over there? Okay, that's fine. Sheldon Pete, everyone.
There are loads of other lovely 96 other lovely episodes. Are there 96 on, or did you hide the first?
Hid the first 10.
Okay, so there's a bunch of wicked other episodes you can check out. A lot of stand-up comedians if you're not familiar with the show. It's not always like it is laughs a lot of the time, but they'll even go deep on some topics, or you'll get to learn a little bit about something that you didn't know might be in there. So I'd check out some of the descriptions. Breezy's always a good episode. And then, pardon?
Bald cunt.
He is a bald cunt. And I hate him for it.
I hate him for it.
Yeah. I mean, just get some hair.
Hurry up and get a toupee. When are you going to pay for a toupee?
That'd be mad if he was just like, "What? This is what I'm doing now."
Yeah, if you just suddenly was a wig man.
But even if you don't,
I can't use this mic, mate.
even if you don't know the guest, oftentimes they're worth checking out. Not always correlated with the views or the likes on there. So I mean, what I'm saying is you need to watch every single episode to see if you like it.
Right. That's a good point.
There's in their entirety as well. Don't skip 1 second. And even if you're watching it intently and you're a big fan and you drift off in your mind for a second and you're not paying attention, start from the top, start from scratch, start from the first episode, and just try them all again from the beginning. You there's a little bit of production value in there. You'll put in a little clip, won't you?
I'll do one or two things like that. It's
like I do stand up.
Exactly. I pretend that I do it. Pretend I do it. Yeah. Speaking of stand-up, this is your time, mate. I'm flashing you.
Agwan for episode 100 perhaps, and after some plans in the works. I don't know if you've told your followers about that yet, but
I haven't. But there are some plans.
Behind the scenes, exciting.
Peel back the banana peel. And Sheldon P, also, he does some shit. So, no, I wasn't going to do it. Is it better or worse that you said that? That was going to be my joke all along, though. Yeah, he sucks dick behind the bins at Tesco. Sorry, that was rubbish. Just after he'd saying it's not all laughs, I was like, yep, it's definitely not all laughs. So we watched the Boston Dynamics video then. Yeah, so we're on episode 97 now. I'm going to get 2 guests in this new place. We're going to get some shit behind here to make it look better. 2 more guests, then I've got, hopefully, if he still wants to do it, a good guest in for episode 100. And then after that, slowly things will get better. Because I have a job now, so I want to get new mics, I want to get a new camera, I want to do that shit. So that will be my plan. Is there anything else you can think that I should touch upon, apart from people's hearts and minds, like I already have? Is there anything you'd like to know? Peter, behind the camera there, who you haven't seen all podcast, because I cut his bit out. You've got the voice of the audience right now. The 5 people that watch it. By the way, I'm on 111 subscribers. That's gone up considerably in the last few months. Thanks. Thank you.
I want to know who your favourite guest was.
Ooh, my favourite guest was. That is a good question. I prefer it when I do it by myself, to be honest. I am the best guest. No, who might...
take who is the easiest guest.
Okay, let's go back. Let's think of some of the earlier ones. Well, I can't really count some of the ones prior to 40 or 50, because because I was still getting in the swing of things. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then more recently, James Crook was a good guest. I feel like we had, although we were pushing each other further and further on that one, like to say ridiculous things. But it was very easy with him. Favorite guest? We had a good one, Peter and I. We had a good 2, actually, a real good 2. But I watch it back going, he's so much more handsome than me. And then I just wank off to it. Gay pride. Cinco de Mayo. So who is my favorite guest? I've had some ladies on there. About 4 of them, 5 of them maybe. Not too many. Bit of a sausage fest. All it is, scared of talking to some women. And also, they're not all great. Just kidding, Pride Month, gay pride. If you're lesbian, then great. Exactly, it's pretty gay. Who was the best one? That is a tough question, that, and that's why I'm not going to answer it. No.
Any guests coming up that you can reveal to us, or that you're maybe that's not booked, but that you're definitely in talks with?
I want Paul Campbell. I want Kieran Mullins again. I want
Mullins is always a banger.
Matt McCann. I want Dave Durkham. Connor Jennings, once again. I've had him one before. He was fun. Him and Valdes was a fun one. Yeah. I think I'm going to go with that. Valdes is one of the most fun ones I enjoyed recently because there's not only a similar sense of humour, a lot of things in common because of comedy, but also a lot of things not in common. The opposites of that, because we're currently living in different countries, come from different backgrounds. So his was fun, and it was also the most viewed one because he's a celebrity up there in Lithuania, and no wonder he's not coming back anytime soon. But the one with him and Connor, I remember that was one of the first ones. I did one with Mickey McKay, and we referenced a lot of stuff. Mickey's good at having you talk about yourself more. He deflects a lot of it, and he'll ask me questions and stuff, which is cool. Same with Adam Anwar, he's good for that. He's not at all selfish in the conversation. He's good at, him and Mickey are good at letting the conversation like, oh, this will be fun to talk about. Or if he's bringing something to the table, he's like, he knows when to take it away. Whereas I will digress and beat it to death. But of the one with the Valdes and Connor, we were just flowing. There's loads of really funny bits in there that when I watch back, I'm like, they were really genuine, very funny moments. So perhaps I'm going to go with a joint one of Connor and Valdes was perhaps one of my favourite ones to do. And it was one of the jankiest, I've said that twice too, weirdest looking ones because it was me and Connor or Valdes, one of them, obviously, crammed on one little couch in the shed and then the other person on the other one. And back in the shed days, and I looked giant next to them both. Like I've got big hair as well, so it makes my head look twice as big. And I'm just like closer to the camera and also the tallest one, so I just look like a giant. And then I've just so it makes it funnier in a way. And also I'll show that. Yeah. And also there's you can see on the wall on the side where we've not framed it properly. You can just see part of the wall. And it's just like that adds to it, I think. But it was a good one, yeah. Go check that out. Thanks for that question. I'd like to have on some of those people I've said. And as it gets bigger,
You got to get Duchamp back in before his podcast blows up.
True, yeah. I have a Duchamp on, and I do want him on again. I think we'd have a better one. Game of Your Life with John Duchamp. Get on that. He asked me to do an episode when he was drunk, so I imagine that he didn't remember telling me that, and he never wanted me on it, because that's how my mind works. No, but I'm sure he'd be happy to have me on. He just knows I'm not a gamer, so more of a gay man. Gaming Islands, Gay Mountain Rum, Gabriel, Angel Gabriel. Yeah.
Gay Man, PlayStation 1.
Yep, Gay Man. Yeah, I that was the first game that I rage quit and snapped the CD-ROM type thing. gay brigade, what you used to call boys brigade that I was part of. That's not a good one. That was too much. Oh, because it's what you said.
Just terrible, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Okay. That was an awful way to end it. We're going to end it like this.
Is this the end now?
Yeah. Oh, but the music would have been playing over that.
Oh, I don't know, like...